there's the quilting finished. I must say it did go a bit quicker when I realised I'd got the speed on the machine turned down for a previous project. Right, the next step is to add a little bit more fabric to do this area here, and we do that by laying the fabric on the top of this one. It will stitch a seam along here, so we're covering that up like that. Now this fabric can be the same as your previous one, or it can be a contrast. I've tried to pick out the green in the print, and I've used this same green fabric for my handles as well. So that's stitching the seam. Don't worry about this extra fabric here, it won't matter at all. And then to tidy that join, the hoop will take the needle back to the beginning of it, slip that underneath like that, and the next colour will stitch a little bit of top stitching just along the seam. You'll notice I haven't bothered to stop and change the colours every time the machine stops, because it's quite unnecessary. I simply chose the colour that would go with the fabric for the quilting, and I've used it for everything. So the next colour will mark two places, one here and one down here, and there to put our handle on. Now this handle is about it's about the same length as the design actually. That's quite a good guide for how long to make the handle. And mine is simply made with fabric that's been folded over, doubled to make it a bit thicker. And you could do that just with steamer seam or something. I have top stitched mine, so it should look fairly neat. Now the handle goes to the beginning of that line of stitching, overlapping by half a centimetre, perhaps a little bit more. Now the next colour will stitch both ends in place, but personally I like to stitch one end. You can tape them on if you like, but it isn't really necessary. Stitch one end on and then reach down and turn the machine off. Just lift the foot, just pop that underneath, put the foot back down again and stitch the second part, and it's as easy as that. You can do it all in one go if you like and use tape, but I try to avoid using tapes and sticky stuffs and sprays as much as possible. Now this is the part that confuses people. The lining to the Carrycot is done in one piece. So I've got one long piece of fabric. It's about 1 metre long actually, and this goes face down on the top of here, and it overlaps this edge by about 1 centimetre, no more. But unlike my other projects with continuous lining, this top edge isn't straight, it has a curve in it, and the curve of the next piece is even greater, so we've got to allow for that. So we bring that fabric up until we've got about 7 centimetres sticking out over there. As a guide, the lining should extend then about 6 or 7 centimetres to the left as well. Okay, now then I'm going to take that right up there, not allow too much seam allowance, because I'll let you into a secret. I know my fabric is only just long enough, so I've got to be really careful. Now smooth that out along. You see that the edge of the hoop is quite a good guide for this, really. It will just fit in nicely. And most of the fabric, 3/4 of the fabric, will be hanging over the back of the hoop. That is right. So here is this. that was my deliberate mistake for this video. We don't need that colour this time. So I just cut the thread. And scroll down to the next colour. We will need that line the next time we make a side. So this is the one that stitches the top fabric along, like that. And I'll unpick those few stitches while you're not looking. So that's stitched that on, and it's also stitched the handle again, so the handle's fairly strong. If you're a bit worried about how strong the handle is, you could stitch this colour again. So there it is, it's gone back to the starting point, and here's the whole piece. If I turn that back like that, you can see there's the handle, there's the shaped side, and there's the lining ready to go on to the next stage. Now I'm going to make the head piece next. I'm going to make it exactly the same up to the time when you have to do something a bit different. So I'll see you soon.